Are you ready, Tano, for the ultimate Nyx Prime build, dealing damage cap at level 9199 steel path enemies in Warframe, or known as level cap? But first, let me show you what this amazing Warframe capable of after the rework. Let's go! Welcome back, Tano! And yes, Nyx is a god mode right now in Warframe after the rework. And as always, before I build a weapon or Warframe, I rely on my method called D.V.S. D stands for how I'll be dealing damage. V, how I'll be proccing 10 stacks of viral to make enemies vulnerable by 325% more damage to their HP. S stands for stripping enemies armor. We don't care about armor, but we care about lowering their armor to reduce their damage reduction to deal higher damage to them. And as always, we take beginners friendly approach explaining Nyx for Thanos that doesn't know anything about her. Starting first with her passive. Nyx gain 40% critical chance on primary and secondary weapons per confused enemy within affinity range up to 200%. Confused enemies by her first ability Mind Control or by radiation. When you confuse enemies with radiation, they start attacking each other, and that's pretty much the passive. First ability Mind Control. Nyx sees control of a target mind, compelling them to fight for Thanos' cause. Controlled enemies have an increased radiation statue chance. When Nyx shoots them, they also have an increased damage multiplier. And it got an augment called Mind Freak. Mind Control augment, control target inflict plus 1000% damage and gain 25% movement and attack speed. Makes this Mind Control with this augment Mind Freak an amazing feature, but to be honest, Mind Control is the one I would like to replace for a Helmet ability. But remember, Nyx doesn't need any Helmet ability. Any Helmet ability you want to put is just like to help you to proc more viral, to CC more enemies, or increase your damage or whatever. But she doesn't need anything if you don't want to use any Helmet ability, and keep that in mind. Alright, now the Psychic Bolts. Nyx unleashes a volley of Psychic Bolts that track and strike nearby enemies with telekinetic precision. When enemies are slain, additional bolts scatter to new targets. Striking foes weakens their defense and transfer portion to Nyx. So this ability technically armor stripping enemies, stealing their armor, stealing their shields, and stealing their overguard. Dang it, this is amazing. Alright, now it got an augment called Pacific Bolts. Pacific Bolts augment throw an additional 3 force bolts with guaranteed radiation statue effect. Enemies struck are confused for 10 seconds, and that radiation will contribute to her passive as well. An amazing psychic bolts. Now, the Chaos. Nyx releases the devastating Psychic Bolts, disorienting enemies in a wide radius and forcing them to turn on each other. Confused foes lash out at random factions. Now, this is exactly the contribution to the passive, confusing more enemies with Chaos. It's an amazing CC, and this is exactly what you need. Now it got an augment called the Chaos Sphere. Enemies entering the effect range will be inflicted with Chaos effect range, lasts for 50% and ability duration, and shrinks over time. Amazing, really good. Now, Absorb. Nyx draws in and contains damage dealt to her and damage confused enemies deal to each other, then converts it into a devastating radial blast. We did damage cap with that. Following the blast, she enters a brief invulnerability state and gains weapon damage boost proportional to the absorbed damage. Now, the more you absorb, the more damage you will be dealing as a buff for your weapon. Now, it's capped at 400%. And the invulnerability, it's not only when you are at the phase of absorb, it's actually when you release the absorb, you are vulnerable for 6 seconds. Crazy stuff. Now it got 2 augments. Assimilate, my favorite. Nyx can use weapons during absorb and its duration is infinite. Mamma mia. But it consumes the 6.5 energy and its area of effect is halved. Now remember, the energy is affected by efficiency. So if you have nice efficiency the energy will be like so slow, like really slow. Now, the singularity creates a ring every 3 seconds that drags in enemies at 15 meters. Not really good, but this assimilate is the most amazing part. So, how you play Nyx? Simply by mind controlling an enemy to attack and help you, and you attack it to increase its damage. Psychic bolts to strip enemies' armor and take their overguard and shields and whatever. Chaos to confuse enemies so you contribute to your passive, alright? And then you got absorb to stay alive and move around and kill everything in your way. And trust me, she's right now the best tank in the game, believe it or not. But at a sacrifice, just a little bit movement speed and parkour. Other than that, she's the best tank right now in the game. First thing first with her build, let's start with the helmet. And I'm in love with the new helmet, guys. Alright, let's get to it. Archon shards. I'll be running two Topaz Archon shards right about here, okay? The Topaz Archon shards, what they do exactly, increase secondary critical chance by 1% every time you kill an enemy affected by heat statue, max 50%, 2 of them. And I got like 2 red for 25% secondary critical chance because I'm a poor Tano, don't worry about it. Now, I got the casting speed, the Amber Archon shard, and that's pretty much it. Now remember, on Nyx you can run whatever you want at this point. Run more strength, run more duration, run primary statue chance. Honestly, it's up to you, depends on the weapon you plan on using. Archon shards, doesn't matter, just throw their casting speed so you can cast faster, and then everything else is irrelevant. Depends on the style and the weapon you're using. Remember, she is a tank that can deal damage cap if you take enough damage. And now for the build, I'll be using the Worthy Camaraderie, the new aura. Squad receives 75% weak point critical chance. I love landing headshots, to be honest, since I'm using current weapons. My dual toxic is mamma mia. Equilibrium. Health pickups will give you energy, energy will give you health. You get the point here, so we always have energy, doesn't matter from what. Okay, streamline for efficiency, and I can stay there forever. Trust me, with these two, equilibrium and energize for energy, I'm there forever. There is nothing can take me out. When the nullifier is smiling in the corner. But anyway, rolling guard for nullifiers and bad situations, but you don't even need rolling guard, to be honest, okay? If you know how to move around and save yourself from nullifiers, it's not needed, okay? Pacific bolts is the augment, we already talked about that. Assimilate is another augment, we talked about that already. And as you can see in here, where is it? And then drain per second 2.94 energy instead of 6, like what the augment says. Umbra intensify for strength, flow for energy max, and continuity for duration, okay? To be honest with you, in Nyx, you can just use Assimilate, and you can use, right? You can use just Energy Nexus. You see this? Okay? Energy Nexus, Assimilate, and Streamline. You can tank anything in the game. That's all. You don't need anything. But because we have Nourish here, we want to get some strength, and we want to get more strength here, so we get more, you know, overguard steel, and you know what I'm saying. Like, we need some strength, we need more duration, we need nice efficiency, and we're good to go. Arcane Precision is optional in here. As you switch, it depends on the weapon you'll be using. You're gonna be using primary or secondary, to be honest. You don't want to use a melee with Nyx because her passive. If you don't want to use her passive, I mean, I don't know. You can use whatever you want. That's irrelevant at this point. Now, when it comes to the aura, you don't need rolling guard at all in here, so I left this option open for you. You can use, for example, more range if you want in here, or you can use more strength, or you can move more casting speed and sprint speed. It's totally up to you. Or maybe you're gonna be using her for slam, you're gonna be using your anguish in there. You choose whatever you want. What I'm saying here, Nyx right now is so powerful that you don't need anything. You can just survive and kill everything in the game. Simple as that. Now, I removed her first, but you don't have to, like I just said. You don't have to. Just keep her kit the way it is, and you're good to go. You can get Nourish viral from any source. You can get it from your secondary, your primary, your companion, and so on. She strips with Pacific Bolts, 100% defense reduction. That's why we have strength in there, and pretty much we're good to go. Simple. And here we are in Simulacrum, summoning level 225 heavy corrupted gunners, and just use the 4th ability. Then the 2nd ability to armor strip them, 3rd ability to create the chaos, and so on, and then you'll just be like killing them. Alright? Look at that. Crazy, crazy, crazy stuff we're talking about right now. Look at that. Boom, that's the Latron. And you can use any primary or secondary weapon that you want. And then you'll be collecting all the incoming damage, and then you can just release it and kill them all. I highly recommend that you like roll like so. It makes it easy to move around. You can jump still, stuff like that. Now, there you go, armor stripping them. Third ability. Now, if I want to proc viral from Nourish, look at that. Boom, 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 boom. Taking them down. Armor stripping them with the second ability. And then, like so, they just die. Now, of course, for the Thanos that likes to use mind control, we can just take off Nourish. There is no problem at all with the same build. And now we will add the mind freak in here. Okay, and as you can see, 1440 damage increase, an increase of fire rate, and the speed. And check this out. Fourth ability active as always. And let's choose this guy right about here. Mind freak. Go. And then he's gonna be running around and attacking them, and believe it or not, he deals a lot of damage. Look at this guy. I mean, he can kill them, honestly. He can kill them, guys. He can kill them. He doesn't even joke at all. Okay, think about it. You have, like, the ultimate Spectre. Look at this guy. Destroying it, baby. Destroying it. Look at that. Unbelievably powerful. And now you can armor strip them. There you go. And he's just like... You have a minion. You're just gonna be sitting still and he'll be killing everything for you. Just keep attacking him so you can increase his damage. And that's pretty much it. I don't know why the HUD doesn't show in there, okay? But it shows in normal missions. But that's pretty much it. In the end, Nyx is a god mode. She's like S+++ tiers. And she's a must-have Warframe. 10 out of 10, hands down. In the end of the video, I want to say special thanks to everyone ever supported the channel by liking, subbing, commenting, sharing my videos, or joining my community. Discord link on description. Special thanks to special VIP Reka, Kai Ulfrid, and Irish, and disputed donator Free Hate, and other donators Kali, Reka, Ulfrid, Victor, Mr. V, Mika Wes, Milan, Ilinota, Noob Master. Big love to you all, and don't forget a lot of 1999 content in the channel and more to come. Stay tuned for that, and see you guys next time.